We are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Keeg, where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. It is January 1st, 2026, and we're here to talk about all the comics that came out this week. Now, for those of you who don't know, new DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Indie Comics, all sorts of comics, they all come out at your local comic shop every Wednesday. So this week, it was December 31st that they came out. And our job here on this show, on Comic Talk, is to read as much as we can in 24 hours. And then we go live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Keeg Show. And then also via podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. But yeah, we get less than 24 hours, or pretty much 24 hours, to read as much as we can and talk about everything that came out this week. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. If you're watching us live, you are watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to the podcast after the fact. But either way, however you're digesting us, I see people out there watching us right now. Hop in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, hop in the chat, let us know you're out there, let us know what you read. This week was a very interesting week, because normally, every week, new DC, Marvel, Indie Comics come out. But this week, because it is a weird week, crosses over from 2025 to 2026, DC Comics didn't release any comics this week. So that is, in and of itself, interesting. But so far, I'm talking too much. Let me introduce my guest. We got Ambrosia, aka Comics and Cupcakes. Ambrosia, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's crazy. We're already in January 2026.
It is weird. 2026. Who would have thought we'd make it this far?
You know what's weird is I feel like COVID just happened. Like, I'm still not recovering from 2020.
Yeah. It's so weird because COVID and the pandemic changed the way I just process time, you know, in the sense of it seems like it wasn't long ago, but it was also, almost 6 years ago that it kicked off, right? So
6 years ago. That's
right. March 2026 would be 6 years. And so
yeah,
that's always interesting. And it's funny because you are one of the oldest, not in age, but the longest running Comic Talk crew people on this show. I think you've been here the longest.
Who else has been there?
Manny is on hiatus, but even Manny didn't start at the beginning. You're the only person who started in March 2021, which is when Comic Talk started. Which also is crazy to think. This year will be 5 years of Comic Talk.
That makes me. That's wild to think. Time is insane, but also makes me really happy. I was just talking to some of my buddies today of how I am so grateful for Comic Talk, because I never had people in my area to actually talk comic books with,
Mm-hmm.
or I didn't know anyone else who read comic books. So I'm so entirely grateful for this Comic Talk where I can share opinions and just have conversations with other people, because I never had that prior.
Right. I didn't really either. I would go on message boards. I feel like I mean, with the Keeg and the different podcasts that we do with the Keeg, Comic Talk is the most consistent right now. As of the last couple of years, Comic Talk has taken number one priority with the Keeg, and it never used to be the case because Comic Talk came around in 2021. But the Keeg technically started as a geek news show in 2015.
Shut up.
Yeah, and it was all in person. And so we used to, talk comics and talk movies and everything in person. By the way, anyone out there, hop in the chat and let us know what you're looking forward to in 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. But it started in 2015, and it was all just my friends who were in the area that we could meet up in person. And then if you weren't able to meet up in person, some people would be like, hey, I'm out in LA. Can I zoom in? Well, back then it was Skype in. And I'd be like, well, no, not really. We don't have the capability to do that. But when the pandemic hit and everything, we moved all the Keeg stuff to online, and I met a lot of cool people through TikTok and social media and other content creators like you, who you don't live in California. You're not
No,
around me. If I had kept that original philosophy, we would never have met, you know?
no, and that's what, like, again, I was talking to my buddies about, like, 'cause they're like, "Oh, so, like, do you guys meet at someone's house?" And I was like, "Oh, no. Dimitri lives in California, like, our little comic talk is all over." Like, where does Deanna live?
Deanna's in Switzerland.
Switzerland?
She's the furthest.
Yeah, and that in itself is, I don't know, like, it's just so cool because 'cause we've had what's his name? Manny? Manny Reeds, he was in New York.
Manny, I thought Manny was in
Like,
Texas.
no, there was another Manny with curly hair and
Oh,
glasses.
Manny Batista. We've
Yes.
had two Mannys on Comic Talk. Uh, there was a small crossover where they were both on the show. There's a lot of people. There's been a good amount of content creators that have been on this show as regulars, but over 5 years, like people come and go, you know.
No,
Um,
100%.
but
But
shout out to the day oneers, and also shout out to the day nowers, you know, and
100%,
everybody in between.
it's just, that is one thing that I am fortunate about, with the pandemic is how it has, crossed, how we've used social media and Zoom and our virtual world to connect. Also, I'm very grateful because I didn't know virtual meetings weren't a thing prior, and now
Mhm.
so many of my work meetings are virtual.
Yeah.
So nice. But okay, so since we're talking about where you started, and we are in the new year,
It's January 1st, 2026. That's crazy.
I know. What are some of your hopes where you see the Geek Show going
I
this
mean,
year?
uh so last year we
Because we're gonna
did
manifest all the things this year.
yeah, so last year we did a game show of my own creation at C2E2, which is Chicago's Comic-Con. So we got to do that there and that was awesome. Um that being said, I did not apply for C2E2 this year. So I definitely won't be doing a panel at C2E2, but will I be there regardless? I've been going for the past like 3 years, so this would be the fourth year. I'm still planning on going, but we won't do a panel there. But I am planning on doing the same panel that we did at San Diego Comic Con in 2025, doing it again for San Diego in 2026, and then doing it hopefully for WonderCon in 2026. So that's Anaheim. So, you know, who's to say what'll happen, but that's kind of the short goals right now. I got other goals. We're planning on doing like Patreon content, um, talking comics while getting drunk. Maybe that becomes a Patreon exclusive sort of
Oh my
thing,
gosh.
you know?
Please sign me up for that one.
If you want to. I mean, you know, who knows? Things might get crazy on the show. But let us know out there in the chat if you guys have ideas that you would want to see on Patreon. We could do drunk content, you know, that sort of thing. It'll be Patreon exclusive. Um,
This will be like
you know,
my last comment before we actually talk about comics. But
yeah.
okay, I remember there's a game that I played, like it was 2021. Um and it was like Pokemon, but we drank
It
and
was me, right? Like we did it?
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
The
And it
Pokemon
was
drinking game. Yeah.
and Trevor, I remember Trevor
Yeah.
and that's all I remember, and I'll be honest, I got a little litty titty, and I don't remember any of the game. I remember how to do Pokemon, and
Yeah.
I drank,
Well, I
and I
personally
didn't win.
one of the big things I was proud of during pandemic era content is that I figured out a way to we could do a drunk board game but online on a live stream. And I'm very proud of the way like I pulled it off because if you go back and you watch some of those past episodes of the Pokemon drinking game, you will see like, oh shit, they pulled it off. Um, so yeah. Well, also that Pokemon drinking game, like our normal show time was like 2 hours long, but then we to finish the game, we would have to like play for 4 hours. It was a 4 hour long game, and we would drink for 4 hours if we, you know, kept it going. So yes,
That makes sense why I don't remember it. I just remember I was on.
I yeah, I would also I we would get way too drunk on live stream, so that's always fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, okay, so for everyone out there, this is Comic Talk. Today is a special day because it's part of a special week. There are no DC Comics that came out this week. It was the 1 week that DC Comics took off for December 31st. So go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, but there were no DC Comics that came out this week. And so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Marvel Comics primarily, and then I have at least one indie comic that I read. So the comic pull list is going to be fairly small because not as many comics came out this week. Even across indie comics, not very many comics came out this week. But Marvel had a handful, and then there were some indie comics, and then whatever we chose to read. Do you want to go first? You want to read your list first?
Yeah. Okay. I have X-Men Age of Revelation finale, issue number 1. Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, issue number 4. Sorcerer Supreme, issue number 1. Predator versus the Marvel Universe, issue number 5. And I do have Feral and Ultimate Endgame, issue number 1, but I wasn't able to finish reading those.
Okay. You didn't read Ultimate Endgame?
No, but I was really sad because I got the blind bags. Did you do any of the? Oh, did you do any of the blind bags?
No.
I did 2 blind bags, and I was like, oh, I hope I get Peach Momoko, and I did, but I got 2 Peach Momoko. I was hoping
The same one?
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, you wish too hard. You know?
I did. So if anyone wants another one, let me know.
You want to tell the people out there what a blind bag is for the people who don't know?
Oh my gosh, yes, thank you. So this was actually one of my first blind bags, but they're going to be coming out more and more. I have seen, but they come in. It's the comic book Ultimate Endgame, and they come in a bag. It's like mystery, like just like any blind bag.
Yeah.
But of comic book covers, and I think wasn't it our comic book shop? They had like one signed issue by Robert Downey Jr. They had
I did
a
hear
special.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks just like any other comic book. Oh no, you don't know. But then you open it up and it's a surprise inside.
Ooh.
And so then they have like so many different variants. Which I typically don't get variants. That is my unpopular opinion. Or maybe I don't know if that's unpopular opinion.
Your
It's not, 'cause I
your
don't.
unpopular opinion is that you don't get it, or that there shouldn't
I
be variants.
No, I love variants.
Okay.
For other people, but I don't like them for myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the original covers, just the OG copies.
Yeah. For anyone new to comics, comic books, the issues come out with a set cover A, let's just say, and that's most of the covers. But then comic shops will get specific ratios, depending on how much they buy, of rarer comic covers, and then they'll charge a little bit more for it, right? So instead of a $5 comic, maybe there's a $10 comic with cover B for that issue. And so, yeah, it just depends. The blind bags, though, are you pay for it, and then you get variant covers inside, hopefully.
Yeah.
Kind of like you get like a Pokemon card booster pack, but there's one comic in there, and what comic you get.
And I actually liked doing it that way because it was surprises. Yeah. It's different like when you go choose a variant.
Yeah.
But like it was nice is that this one is like one cost, like same price. And it was a surprise.
But here's the thing though, you got Ultimate Endgame, but you didn't read it?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
I do silly goofy things, and so I signed up for a 6K this morning. So I work at a coffee shop, and so I signed up to work at 4:30 to 7 a.m. and then I ran a race, and
What?
so I tried to squeeze in as many comics as I could.
Okay, that's fair. List.
Yeah, I did not read Ultimate Endgame, but I did get a blind bag.
Okay, cool. My list is very similar to your list. It's mostly because Marvel had a finite amount of comics that came out this week, and then other indie comic publishers also had very few that came out December 31st, 2025. Um, the ones I read Ultimate Endgame #1. I read Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #5. I read Sorcerer Supreme #1. X-Men Age of Revelation finale, and the Ultimates #19. Those are all from Marvel. And then from Oni Press, I read uh, the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Number
um,
four, issue #4.
oh, well, you are on issue number 4, so it means that it has been doing well. You have been enjoying it.
I'll go into it a little bit later, but
Okay.
it was only 4 issues. I think they just did a limited run. Um, and I mean, we will talk about like that's Oni Press's Nacelle verse. They have a line of comics under Oni Press called the Nacelle verse, which is uh, like biker mice from Mars and a lot of those like '90s cartoons that they're making into comics now. So
Oh, cool.
Um, let us know out there what you guys read this week. I know it was slim pickings, but there was a couple of key ones, especially if you're a Marvel fan. A couple of key comics that came out this week. But I think that a lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people are waiting for like next week to pick up comics. It is literally, it was December 31st, and today is January 1st, and so like, okay, it's fair if people are skipping out on this week. But us, we need to have comic talk. Like, we're dedicated. We got to
No,
have
we
it.
absolutely are. I mean, New Year's Eve, people are getting ready to party. No, we were at the comic book store picking up our
I
comics.
also partied, but
Oh, did you? Good job. I
um, but I didn't drink too much. It's fine. I was okay. I had to drive home after, so I didn't drink too much, and then I sobered up, and then got Taco Bell, and then drove home in the rain. It's raining. It's been raining lately.
It's raining here too, which is odd because typically it's snowing
Yeah,
here.
and we're not in the
Um,
same area, so
yes,
it's raining
yes.
near you and me. Okay.
But I did not get to party because I knew I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the
Oh
morning.
yeah,
So
that's crazy.
no, it was gross.
Yeah.
Um, but cool.
So, out of the slim pickings that we have this week, what what's your pick of the week?
So oddly enough, because it was such a small haul this week,
Mhm.
um, I went with Sorcerer Supreme, because for one, it is an issue that I don't know if I would pick this up as like
Oh,
one of my regular hauls or in my regular pool list. But I gave it a go.
did
And
you
so
only pick it up because it was a slim pickings sort of week?
yes, kind of. Actually, I don't know. Um, Maybe. I'm gonna go with yes. Um,
Okay.
because I don't know if it was like a busier week, a heftier week. I don't know if I would pick this up. Um, but I'm glad I did. Because we know that Doctor Strange has been missing. He's disappeared. Um,
Did we know that?
oh,
No,
I don't know.
I mean before the events of this, I didn't read whatever like that strange issue 650 or whatever that came out recently.
I didn't either, but I like did a little back reading or like read online,
Yeah,
and I think that they knew that he disappeared, and Cleo was
not Clea.
Clea,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
his lover.
yeah.
Um,
His wife. I think they're married.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I love that. I love them. Um, but yeah, so we know. So if anyone would like to chime in, did we know that he was disappeared? That he disappeared? He was gone.
I don't know. I
He's.
didn't.
Did you read
Oh
this issue?
wait. I do know that he went to Asgard. So is that what they're
Because
talking about? Because he disappeared. So for anyone out there who didn't know, Doctor Strange used to be Sorcerer Supreme, but during the events of Blood Blood Hunt, the vampires had taken over. There's a big vampire uprising. Doctor Strange had gotten bitten, and they separated his soul from his body in order to keep him alive and not a vampire. But because of that, he wasn't able to be Sorcerer Supreme. So Doctor Doom said, like, give me Sorcerer Supreme and I will give it back after we save the world. And Doctor Strange was like, "Okay, I have your word that you will, after we save the world, we will, I'll be, you'll give it back to me." But then Doctor Doom at the end of Blood Hunt was like, "Yeah, we defeated the vampires, but we haven't saved the world, so I'm keeping Sorcerer Supreme," which leads us into One World Under Doom, where Doctor Doom as Sorcerer Supreme also kind of takes over the world for like 12 months. And so recently One World Under Doom ended. Doctor Strange lost the Sorcerer Supreme title.
Doctor Doom.
And what did I say?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. Doctor Doom lost the Sorcerer Supreme title. And Doctor Strange, in the meantime, had gone to Asgard to become Asgard's Sorcerer Supreme because he couldn't be Sorcerer Supreme on Earth. And then now the question after Doom was who becomes Sorcerer Supreme. So now we know in this series, Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, is Sorcerer Supreme.
Like, not to give you any spoilers, but it's in the title.
I mean, and it's literally the cover.
Did you read this issue?
Yeah, I read this one.
What did you think?
Um, I this is Steve Orlando, right?
Hmm.
I like Steve Orlando's um previous Scarlet Witch books because there was Scarlet Witch, there was Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch and or the Vision and Scarlet Witch. Like it's been like a bunch of ongoings and miniseries that has like Steve Orlando working with Wanda Maximoff, and like Steve does a really good job, but this issue was kind of interesting. I don't know. Did I like the issue? I think I liked it, but did I love it? I don't know.
I didn't really love. I wouldn't say love it, but I liked it even more at the ending. When when we see her arch nemesis.
Agatha.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for anyone.
Sorry. I did. So I mean, I'm excited to see her and Agatha, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad for a first issue, and it
yeah.
was fun because I wouldn't typically read this. And maybe I'm going to continue.
Have you read the previous Scarlet Witch stuff?
No.
Oh, the previous ones are really good. Also, the previous artist was way too good. Like
Were
everybody
you a
was
little
way
disappointed
the.
then?
I'm not. I don't dislike the artist of this book, Sorcerer Supreme, but the previous artist that worked on the previous books made everybody so hot. Like in this book, everybody's still hot, but like the previous artist, like it was distractingly hot.
Yeah. I mean, like more than like she looks pretty like voluptuous there. Was it more than that?
I mean, she's great there, but like the previous artist was, I'm trying to look it up. Um, oh, it's Russell Dodderman. So Russell Dodderman did a really good thing, and I'll tell you one switch up is that the character of Darcy in this book they made her skinny, but in I believe in the previous Scarlet Witch stuff, she had more curves to her. She's based off of Kat Dennings. Like, give that character Kat Dennings curves. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you could say boobs.
it's not just the boobs. It's the overall build.
No, you're right.
You know,
I'll be honest. I wouldn't have. I mean, if it was it Wong?
yeah.
Mm, I wouldn't have known that was Wong if I didn't see his name Wong. I mean, I
Well,
should have known it
is
was
it
Wong,
is it because
but
you don't know the comic Wong? Because the comic
yeah,
Wong is different looking than the
movie.
movie.
Yes.
Um, movie Wong.
Well,
Bernard Chang's the artist on this book, and Bernard's doing a great job. They're still hot. I'm just Russell Dodderman is next level. By the way, shout out to Brian89, Brian in our chat saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Brian. Thanks for stopping by. We're talking about Sorcerer Supreme issue number 1. But Ambrosia, you like this one, right?
yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna read issue 2. Nope, you know what? I'm committed. I'm gonna read issue 2.
Yeah.
I think I was telling you that one of my goals this year is to really branch out and read more comics wouldn't read. So part of that is more DC, but that doesn't count this week. Um, but then also like I'm gonna read Scarlet Witch, Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it gets really bad, then I'm not gonna
Yeah.
read it.
But I mean, it's also Steve Orlando, and Steve Orlando's a good writer, so I believe in this series. Um, that being said, like there were some interesting twists and turns. Um, the beginning of this book has Dormammu fighting Scarlet Witch, being like, "You don't deserve the title of Sorcerer Supreme. You're cheating. You're not following the rules." And she's like, "Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I do things my way, right?" And
Right.
then the Vishanti, who normally are the ones who gift the mortal the title of Sorcerer Supreme, the Vishanti come in and they're like, "Oh, we didn't gift you the Sorcerer Supreme. How do you have that title? You can't just take that title. Like, we have to gift it to you." And she's like, "Well, the artifacts chose her."
Mm-hmm.
So the Eye of Agamotto, the the cloak of levitation.
Levitation.
I forget what other artifacts.
Um,
Is it the Crimson
those were
Bands or no?
those were the only two that I specifically remember was the cloak of levitation and then the eye of how do you say it?
Agamotto.
Agamotto.
Yeah, I mean I say it that way. Agamotto. Yeah. Um,
Um,
and so
yeah.
that's how
So
she has it. So she's kind of like a false Sorcerer Supreme in a way. And then Agatha Harkness comes at the end. She's like, "Oh, I'm the real Sorcerer Supreme. What's up?"
yeah, and that in itself, she's not a real sorcerer supreme. She's just a I don't know. She's just Agatha.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious to know where this is going to go. Um, I'm I don't know. Are we going to see Doctor Strange come back? Maybe.
Probably from Asgard, right?
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I think it's fine.
Um. Okay.
Oh, but they did. Sorry, I didn't even pay attention to this because I was just trying to finish reading. But the last page they did do a the design by Russell Dodderman of the Scarlet Witch Sorcerer Supreme,
What do you mean?
and like they did like a
Oh.
breakdown.
Oh yeah yeah yeah. I saw that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it sounds really bad, but I was like, ugh, I don't have time for this. Um, yeah, but no, it was just the Eye of Agamotto, Cloak of Levitation.
Okay. Um. So yeah. So that's your pick of the week.
Yeah.
My pick of the week. I'll tell you what my pick of the week is, but we got to talk about something else first because there is an order to it. So my pick of the week is the Ultimates issue 19. And this is all tying together with Ultimate Endgame right now. So the Ultimate Marvel Universe is quote unquote ending. And so we have the Ultimate Endgame miniseries, but all these other titles are still going for the like at least 2 or 3 more issues as Ultimate Endgame wraps things up. My personal belief is that the Ultimate Marvel Universe is not ending. I think they're gonna do a switcheroo on us. They're you know, it's a red herring of sorts. But the reason I say we can't talk about the Ultimates issue 19, even though that's my pick of the week, we can't talk about it yet, is because Ultimate Endgame technically happens first, and then you're supposed to read Ultimates 19. Like
Oh,
chronologically.
yeah.
So, because some Ultimates 19 like starts off with something that happens like midway through Ultimate Endgame issue 1. So, for the purpose of this podcast and this episode, probably better to talk about Ultimate Endgame number 1 first, and then move into my pick of the week, which is Ultimates 19.
Cool. And even though I haven't read it, I am always okay with spoilers. So
Okay. Because you're gonna get it.
beautiful.
Um, Ultimate Endgame basically is the quote unquote end of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. The Ultimate Marvel Universe, this new Ultimate Marvel Universe, kicked off with Ultimate Invasion, which was a 6-issue miniseries written by Jonathan Hickman, where the Maker, who again is the Reed Richards from the original Ultimate Marvel Universe, he decides he wants to lord over a whole universe. So he is going to go to a Marvel universe that isn't exactly like the 616 that we know, but it's similar enough that he can change it and kill heroes and do what he wants to in the shadows. Now, Ultimate Endgame is essentially 2 years of real time after the events of Ultimate Invasion, because the maker, which is Reed Richards of that like big bad villain Reed Richards, he's been in the I think the Impossible City, and there's like a countdown clock for when that city will open back up again, and that's like 2 years. So the Ultimates have 2 years to prepare for their inevitable fight with the maker. And that's what Ultimate Endgame's all about.
Okay.
So this issue does bring in a bunch of different series that we know. So Ultimate Spider-Man is one of them. The Ultimates is another one of them. We don't see too much of like Ultimate X-Men, but we do see Wolverine meet up with them. Ultimate Wolverine. And like the art is Terry Dodson, I believe. And like I like the art. I didn't really. I think as far as like issue number ones go, it just kind of sets things up, and like
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess I wanted more from it. It's kind of cool, but they're like, like when like superheroes team up or whatever, like we get a big old crossover event, like there's kind of a like a fun like nature to it, right? Like
Yeah.
they get to meet up for the first time, and like you kind of get to live in that moment of like, oh, it's kind of fun that these two heroes are meeting up. In this
Mhm.
issue, all these heroes meet up that have never met each other before, and they just kind of like rush into the story. So you don't get to really like live in that
Aw.
moment.
Well, and especially because I feel like the Ultimate Universe is such a big, like, it's such a good universe. Or I've enjoyed a lot of the stories in there. And so yeah, that's kind of a bummer that they don't spend that time
Yeah, because they have a
doing
whole,
that.
universe ending event to deal with, right?
Right. That makes
Um,
sense, but
so it is what it is. There's some like cool things in it, sure, but it really is about like revolution, is what like Ultimate Endgame's all about. And that's what the Ultimates has been dealing with, is this like revolution against these villains that have been like ruling the world from the shadows. Um so it's kind of interesting in that respect. But yes, that's Ultimate Endgame. There is a twist at the end that I won't spoil, because I won't spoil it for you, but I won't spoil it for others. There's a twist at the end that I don't think is interesting enough. Like, I'm going to read issue 2, but I don't think it's interesting enough if people didn't like this
yeah,
to make them continue, because it's really not that big of a deal,
that makes sense.
you know? But you didn't read
But
this one, right?
no,
Okay.
no, I have it and I'm
Yeah.
going to read it. But I haven't I didn't read it yet.
Okay. Again, anyone out there who is watching us right now, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review if you're listening to the podcast. Let us know you're out there. It's always nice. It's 2026, baby. Show your support to whoever you want to support. But tell the people around you that you love them if you love them. And if you don't, then it is what it is. You know.
Um,
My pick of the week though is the Ultimates number 19.
Perfect. Let's dive into that.
So basically, halfway through this revolution that happens in Ultimate Endgame, the satellite that the Ultimates are operating out of gets blown out of the sky. Um, and I'm assuming. Oh, it does. No, we do know. Not assuming. We do know for certain that some people on that satellite die. One person on that satellite is Ultimate She-Hulk, who is not Jennifer Walters, but she's a different character. But Ultimate She-Hulk is on that, and the question is, did she die or not die? So that's super cool. That being said, here's the thing: are you familiar with the Ultimate Wasp and like that whole thing, like plot point they set up with her?
No.
Okay, so Ultimate Wasp is a traitor, and that was set up in the end of a year ago. They had Ultimate Universe 1 year in. At the end of that, it shows that she's working for Nick Fury. And in this Ultimate Marvel universe, Nick Fury is a bad guy, and he runs the Hand, which is not Shield, but it's like HAND, Hand, and that's the organization that like they're really bad people. So Nick Fury is super bad, evil. Essentially, they kill people who try to rise up against this Illuminati of like supervillains. But the Wasp has been working for him, and we found out that she's been working for him back like a year ago. But now we finally get to see, oh, during this revolution, what happens now? And so this whole issue is about how Ultimate Wasp, Janet, met Hank Pym, how they fell in love, why she like signed up with Nick Fury, and that whole thing. And so this one was a way better issue, I think, than Ultimate Endgame. I liked it a lot. And then they introduce a new character at the end of this issue.
Oh.
And so the twist at the end of Ultimate 19 is better than the twist at the end of Ultimate Endgame #1, which I think
Oh,
is
really?
kind of funny. Yeah, they introduce a new character that like looks really cool and puts another twist on this whole traitor thing.
Are you gonna share with us who this new character is? Or is that too much of a spoiler?
Um, I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a character we haven't
Beautiful.
seen in the new Ultimate Marvel universe yet.
Do we know them in the and are they in
They're a
the
character from the
Marvel universe?
616. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's an ultimate version of this character.
Oh, that's exciting. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. But it's a yeah, this book's really good. Also, like, you don't hate Janet. The whole idea is that like Janet made the deal to be a traitor for a reason. And so like but then there's another wrinkle on that. So like it's pretty cool. It's I don't want to talk too much about it, but like
Nope, I understand.
I'm surprised it wasn't on your list. Why wasn't the Ultimates on your list?
Um, like the ultimate
The
which
Ultimates.
oh, the ultimates. I don't know. I think I just fell behind. Um,
It's been a really good series.
I know I need to jump on because I've heard fabulous things. Right now, I'm only reading the Ultimates, X Men,
Mm-hmm.
Spider Man. Um,
Black Panther or no?
no, Wolverine,
Oh, okay,
maybe.
Wolverine. Yeah.
And I think I'm even behind on Wolverine, but yeah, I need to jump back on to the Ultimates. But I'll start on that one. 17 issues to go. And since, it was a slower week and we already got through our comics this week, that gives me some extra time
Yeah.
to read some others.
Let's move on to the rest of the comics that we read. Again, it's a small list this week, but
Really
and
is.
it's mostly Marvel. How do you feel about Predator Kills the Marvel Universe issue #5?
Okay, so,
Because
okay, because why?
I was not a fan.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You know how, like, you just said how there are some things that, like, it's fun to see people team up and,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but do we need to have I'm glad I'll be honest, I'm really glad that this is over. Um,
Yeah.
um, because, I feel like this could have been, honestly, I feel like this could have been one issue. I don't think we needed to have a mini series
No.
of this. I mean, we did Alien. Was it Alien versus Marvel Universe?
Avenger
Uh,
Aliens versus Avengers.
um, and then
That one
this.
was way cooler, I thought.
I thought so too.
Mm.
And so I feel like there's only so much that you could do with it, and I don't think we needed this. Um, However, I was really excited because the last page of it, we saw that they're doing Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
so we'll
really interested in that.
So am I. I think I'll be completely honest. I think that was like the most excited I got about this comic book. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the comic book. But then, yeah, I'm so excited that this is over.
It was not as cool as I thought it would be. Um,
I don't even think I took any notes on this. Typically, I take like brief notes.
yeah.
I didn't.
the Predator kills the Marvel Universe. Like, for anyone out there who read this one, like, you'll see it in issue number 1 if you start this miniseries, is that, like, they just wanted an excuse to show random Marvel heroes dying, even if, like, a Predator wouldn't be able to defeat them. Like, there's a scene where the Predators land in the middle of the X-Men Danger Room, and then Cyclops thinks they're holograms, and then they like blow his face off. And it's like Cyclops could just take them down with optic blast. Like, and even if he couldn't, he wouldn't just be like, "Oh, they're holograms," and then just get taken out from behind. Um, all the X-Men get taken out by the Predators in like issue 3, I think.
Yes. Whose head was on the pike? Was it Craven's
Yeah,
or
yeah.
um?
It's because it spins off from. It's like a sequel to Spider-Man versus Predator,
Yeah.
and Craven joins the Predators at the end of that, and then in Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, he's the one who tells all the Predators all the secrets about the Marvel heroes so that they can be defeated. But truth be told, like, they take out everyone so easily
Mhm.
until
And
the end where nobody dies.
and then it's almost like, well, what's the point? Um,
Well, some people just want to see the fight, and it's, I don't know.
yeah, and like don't get me wrong, like I'm an edge lord. I like stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there's a point where even I don't even need that. But and then what's annoying is that we know that there's gonna be more because it even says the end for now.
Oh, because at the end they don't close the loop on the Predator X, I think is what they call it.
Mhm.
So it's like Weapon X, but with a Predator in it.
Yep.
And then randomly the Doctor has Wolverine claws?
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Dr. Cornelius? Okay. So this miniseries wasn't it. I
No,
think that,
absolutely not.
like, I read every issue because, okay, it's a comic to read, sure. But, like, here's
It
a
was
question for you, Ambrosia. When you like a comic more than just like it, when you love a comic, what do you do after you read it? Like, for instance, for me, if I love a comic, I will buy it. There's a certain level in which I like it enough, I'm going to buy it in trade when it comes out,
okay.
right? And I'm going to have it on my shelf.
Hmm.
There's another level a little bit higher than that where I'm going to wait for like the deluxe edition of the hardcover and get that, right? And that's a little bit higher bar to clear. Um but then there is a very creme de la creme echelon of comics where I will buy them as presents for people.
I love that.
Yeah. So recently, I just gave my friend, it was her birthday, I gave her Wonder Woman Historia in hardcover. Because Wonder Woman Historia is one of the best comics ever, like, written,
Uh-huh.
made. Have you read that one?
I
Oh,
did.
it's so beautiful.
Um, the artwork in there in general is just
Yeah.
it's like it's almost I mean, going back, it's like having an actual like history book.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And I don't read a ton of DC, but that was like one that I did because it was that in itself is just
Yeah.
incredibly beautiful. So I am very different when it comes to comics. Because I I do a lot of single issues.
Yeah.
That is how I read the majority of my comics. And so I have like my boxes and I um have my divider. I have everything very organized and whatnot. But I'm very picky with the books that I do single issues on. And it's because like I'm a completionist. So for me, that's like my collection. And so if it doesn't fit my collection, then
Mm.
I do trade paperback, if that makes sense.
You do the trade paperback, but you don't do the hardcover? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You do hardcover only for a specific vibe of
Actually,
hardcovers.
I only have hardcovers if they have been gifted to me.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have hardcovers.
Some
Unless
books
that
only
like
come out in hardcovers, though.
yes, so those are, like so there are a few, that I do have, and that's because they have been, like, gifted to me,
Yeah,
um, but very rarely typically, I read, like, uh, single issues, that's, like, the majority of how I have
yeah.
mine, which is also very unpractical, um, because the amount of space that they take up.
It's a lot of storage. Yeah.
It's so much storage, it drives my husband crazy.
Here's the question though. Once a comic company has your money off the single issue, does it matter whether they made the comic good or not? Because again, for me, if they made it good, then I'm gonna keep continuing to buy it, not only just for myself, but for presents. So I've for the most part, I've gotten 2 comic books as presents multiple times for each of the comics. One was Wonder Woman Historia, which I've gotten from multiple people for multiple like a like a white elephant for Christmas, or a birthday, or whatnot. Um, and then I also got Batman Fortnite in hardcover because I thought that was great, and I got that for very specific people, including like my cousin and whatnot, right? And so, if the book is good or exceptional, I end up spending more money on it, right?
Yeah. No,
Does that
for
factor
my
in?
yes, so, like, if it's a book for my well, there's a ton of factors into that because, again, it goes to, um, I don't have a ton of friends who like comic books.
Yeah,
Um, and so like, a lot of my friends are like virtual. So I'd be like, oh my gosh, check this out. But I just discovered that like I found a group of friends who we like comic books because we just played White Elephant and we were gifted Hush by Batman. I'm like,
yeah,
wait, you read comic books? How did we not talk about this?
yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But typically, I will spend more for other people to have like if it's something that's really good. So, for instance, unpopular opinion, I really liked Superior Spider-Man. I have bought that in trade.
People love Superior Spider-Man.
Okay, good. I thought I was the only one.
No,
Um,
no, I think people love Superior Spider-Man. Yeah,
and so I have bought that in trade often, but
yeah,
I don't have it myself in trade.
yeah,
But for non-comic book people who don't read comic books as much, or and I don't know what their organization looks like and whatnot, then I typically will get them hardback or trade backs, or
yeah,
it just I think it depends on the comic, the person. Because even like if it's someone who is just getting into comics, I often will like let them borrow
yeah.
some of my single issues to like, is this something that you like?
Right.
But
Um,
also comics are for everyone, and there is trying to find what people might like.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that attitude. So I mean, that's what I do. So, Oh, also, there's a new edition of Wonder Woman Historia that's coming out in like end of this year. And it's the absolute edition, not absolute DC, but like oversized.
Oh,
And I
cool.
can't wait for it. I will spend $100 for that for myself.
Okay, because um, that comic book is like a wider issue, right?
What do you mean? Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
because
a
it originally came out in square formatting.
yes,
Yeah.
and because I have it specifically somewhere else, right next to my Ronin comics because they don't fit in my typical boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So DC Black Label doesn't they normally come out in like squarish. So like I have Aquaman Andromeda in hardcover and it fits height wise on my bookshelf, but it sticks out because it's a square. It's not an
Yep.
upwards rectangle. So um I'm gonna look up when this comes out. But anyway, my point being, Predator kills the Marvel Universe. The fact is that like it was not good for me, and I do like Benjamin Percy. I do. I just feel like this book wasn't it, and so I will never get it in trade, and I'll never um recommend it to people.
No,
There's other
no.
Benjamin Percy stuff I would love to recommend. Sure.
What else did right?
So Benjamin Percy wrote Wolverine during the Krakoa age. And like I loved Benjamin Percy's Krakoa Wolverine run.
Sorry, he did the Punisher. Um, yeah, Logan, Black, White, and Blood. Yeah, I could have stopped this issue, but I didn't. Um, and that's where I have problems because a lot of the times I'm a completionist and I have to finish the series.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's I don't know. Maybe that's what I should do less of. If I don't like something, I should stop reading it and read other things that I have enjoyed.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have to finish it, so I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
Eh.
Um, by the way, Absolute Wonder Woman Historia, the absolute edition of it, not again, not to be confused with Absolute DC, but it's like an oversized bound book with a different cover. Comes out August 10th, 2026. So, retail price is $100, but on cheapgraphicnovels.com or instocktrades.com, it's roughly $60. It's like 40% off. So, not too shabby.
Ooh. No, honestly, it's not at all
Yeah. I'm gonna
for what you're
I'm gonna
getting.
get it. I just
You
again,
should.
there's must-haves. Like I want to get Kingdom Come in an oversized book, but I have yet to find one that's within my price range. But
Mhm.
I will. Um, Kingdom Come's a must-have.
Being a nerd is expensive. I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, and it's also like remember like back in the day where like I guess they still kind of do it, but like movies have DVDs, but then they release like the different director's cuts or like the steel books and whatever. So if you like a movie, you get the first one that comes out, and then you're like, oh, 6 months from now there's a steel book version that comes out, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll get that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like that.
No, 100%. Tommy collects those. And it drives me crazy because I'm like, sir, we already have that. What's the difference? But then also, I can't talk shit because here I am with my, you know, own hobbies of why
Yeah.
do we need the single issues and the trades?
Sometimes I'll get trades that overlap or encompass other trades.
Hmm.
And if that's the case, then I take that trade off of my shelf and I have a stack of trades that like I'm looking to give away. So, you know, you get what I mean?
No, 100%.
Like there's like I have a whole run of Flash comics, but some trades will only have the event of whatever was in the Flash comics. But then when you buy the volumes that like all encompass, it includes that event. So I just take that event out of the bookshelf. Shout out to Curly Insane Guy, saying, "Whoops, I'm late. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Curly Insane Guy."
Hi, Happy New Year. I hope you still stay curly and insane.
Yeah, and
Cheers to you.
a guide too, if but that's your choice.
Absolutely. Um,
Let's cover X Men:
that's
Age of Revelation
I was gonna say,
finale.
speaking of things I'm ready to end, I'm
Um,
glad we have a finale.
I'm glad we had the finale. Because I checked out during this whole event.
I
Um,
hated this event so much.
that's
Well,
fair.
you know what? Hate is a very strong word.
Hate
Sorry.
is a strong word, but like
I
it
apologize.
could
I
be.
don't I didn't mean to say that. I wasn't the biggest fan of this, and I was a little bored. Um, it's just it wasn't my favorite at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
Um,
checked out was an understatement. I even stopped reading a lot of like the spin-offs. Um, because I just I was
yeah,
over it.
I just knew that I had to like read the end, and this isn't even technically end. This is the Age of Revelation finale, and then there's the Age of Revelation epilogue that comes out next week, I think. Um, what does that mean? I don't know, but what we do find out is at the end of this, what ends up happening. You read this one, right?
Yes, I did.
So at the end of this, we get this battle between like Charles Xavier and Apocalypse come to confront Revelation, all the while that Beast and Cyclops's minds from the past are in their future bodies, and it's like all out war, right? And then Wolverine is there, and Wolverine's like, you can trust me. I'm here to kill Revelation. Okay, fine. Um, Revelation's goal is to essentially make the planet a living planet with him as the mind, just like Ego, the living planet. But this is Revelation, the living planet, and so that's his like ultimate goal. And in the end of this, spoiler alert, in the end of this, Revelation wins. He essentially terraforms the Earth, and the Earth swallows everybody. At the same time, they send Cyclops and Beast's minds back to the present to stop this from ever happening, which kind of isn't a good enough like solving of the problem because like everybody loses, and then we find out a twist. You remember what that twist was?
Trying to look. I don't think so.
The twist is that the mind that came into future Beast's body was not past Beast.
Right.
It was this, and you see it in this like epilogue kind of scene in this issue. I'm assuming it's a backed up mind file of the bad Beast that was during the Krakoan age. But in that robot suit.
Mm-hmm.
So present day Beast didn't go to the future, but past. But what happened? The alternate Beast, not even Dark Beast, but the alternate Krakoan homicidal genocidal Beast did the switcheroo. So really the whole purpose of this whole event was just introducing that like genocidal Beast is back. And I think that's
And
pretty much it.
I feel like they could have done that in so many different avenues.
I think that this event was just an excuse to spin the wheels until they can
Are
figure
they
out what they're
flying
going to
the
do.
plane while building it?
Kind of. I feel like all the series that are coming out in February for Dark Tomorrow, because there's a lot of different X-Men books that are going to be coming out now, um, probably had to be written a long time ago, and then like they like coordinated it all, and then they were like, well, let's do this alternate future timeline crossover event to like buy us some time to plan this
So,
out. That's what I think.
Are you gonna read the epilogue?
Yeah, yeah, because I need to know about the ramifications when it comes to like events like this. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I don't, but no matter what, I need to know the ramifications.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm sorry, Ambrosia, because this whole time I've been trying to get you into X-Men comics, and
Oh my
then
gosh, no.
this happened.
No, this is fine because we see this across the board, and I think this is I mean, um, I am really excited because I have been reading X-Men. But I think why this just hit so much harder was because we came from a really big high in X-Men, and then to go into a event like this was just it's a very big jump.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, we see that across the board. And again, I think that's why we read and we talk about them because not all comics are like this and not all
yeah.
characters are like this, and there's so many different ins and outs of it. I'll be honest though, Jed McKay is not one of my favorite writers.
Mm. I thought Jed McKay's writing on this was better than the other series that I was reading during this. So like I read Amazing X-Men, and that was like pretty much the Age of Revelation title to like read through with the through line. Um but yeah, in the end, it's almost like this crossover didn't matter because everybody dies at the end.
And I hate this is
And it didn't
I
get solved.
no um oh shoot,
Because I think
what's this
also Cypher is still Revelation, I think, in the present. I
I
think.
I have very unpopular opinions with so one of probably my biggest hot take is that Rogue One is probably one of my least favorite movies.
From Star Wars?
Yes.
Rogue
Uh,
One.
and
Okay.
and it's because plot twist, everyone dies. Um, and like, listen, I understand. It's a beautiful concept that leads up into to all the
Yeah.
things, but fuck, everyone just dies.
Yeah, I mean it's sad. But it's not that it doesn't matter. For this Age of Revelation, everybody dies and it doesn't matter. But the whole point of Rogue One is they die for something that does matter. That's the whole point.
No, 100%. But
That's the beauty of that. Like if Age of
they don't die.
Revelation they died in order to stop the future from happening, that's different. But it wasn't because again, Cypher is still Revelation in the present, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't think they know what's going on either.
It's like it
Oh,
doesn't matter. So what is the point? I don't know.
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's I'm glad to, but here's the thing. It does make me happy to see that another X-Men fan is unhappy with these events and that it
Mm,
wasn't just me being overly um
critical.
opinionated.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
By the way, I said Dark Tomorrow. I meant Shadows of Tomorrow. Shadows of Tomorrow starts up in January. So it starts up this month.
I was gonna say fun fact, we're in January now, which is wild.
Yeah. Um, just so I can, I'll go over all the new titles that come out for the new Shadows of Tomorrow line for X Men. Obviously, X Men continues with issue 23. Uncanny X Men continues with issue 22. Wolverine continues with issue 14. But then we have a new series called Inglorious X Force, and Rogue gets a solo series. So those 5 books come out in January. Then in
Isn't there Oh, sorry, go ahead.
then in February, not only do those 5 books continue, we also get a Cyclops solo series. We get a new Storm solo series called Storm Earth's Mightiest Mutant. Then we get a Generation X-23 series, which I believe is Laura Kinney and Gabby, her sister. So that's kind of cute. A sister book, between 2 sisters. Great. It'd be cool if Akihiro, their brother, is in that one, but who knows? Then we get a Magic and Colossus book. Again, another sibling series, but okay. And then we get Wade Wilson Deadpool. Um, that's in February. So then
Did you
those.
mention
What's that?
Sai there's a ninja book. Hold on.
Yeah,
Please hold.
and then
Did you mention that one or is that
oh, I haven't done that yet. No. So and then in March, X Men United, which is a new series, and Moonstar is a new series. But you're right. I remember there being a Psylocke ninja book that's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't know how I quite felt with that,
But it's technically a flashback series that um takes place during Betsy Braddock having the ninja body, which is weird, but I guess it's not a good move, but it is what it is. I'm trying to look it up. Oh, but it doesn't tie in with Shadows of Tomorrow. That's, I think, the thing.
oh, that makes sense.
But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, X-Men Age of Revelation. Doesn't really matter. Curly Insane Guy says, I like a lot of McKay's stuff, but has no interest in this event. Yeah, that's fair.
Nope, you're good.
Again, as an X-Men fan, I'm not going to give up on the X-Men, but like, this crossover event was a reason to not read this stuff because it wasn't really my thing. Psylocke Ninja comes out this month also. But that technically is not Shadows of Tomorrow, I don't think. Because it's a flashback series. Kind of Emma Frost White Queen was a flashback series. Psylocke Ninja is as well. Oh, and Rogue the Savage Land was a flashback series. Um, anyway, this is what it is. As we close up this episode, I want to go over Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, number 4. You read that one, right?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I always this is another final issue. I will always recommend any Star Wars stuff for Star Wars fans. This is Boba Fett going in and doing his thing of bringing down killers and but we have I don't know how to say your name, Sedina Tarkin, who come from the powerful Tarkin family.
I didn't even know the
I
Tarkins were a family, but okay.
They are.
Huh.
Welcome. Honestly, I like the black, white, and red of the Star Wars world. I know it's different than the black, white, and blood type of things, but I was expecting it to be similar, but they're not.
Is it an ongoing story or is it anthology?
No, it's an ongoing story.
Oh, okay.
Uh, which is different than what we typically see. But I really enjoyed it. So any Boba Fett fans, like if you would just like a fun little like spin-off. I always think that they're just good, wholesome spin-offs. Nothing too serious,
Yeah.
nothing too of we see Boba Fett doing his thing.
Okay. Cool.
So I enjoyed it. And I think that they ended this was the end of it. And so I think they did really well.
All right.
I liked how
Cool.
it ended. So
And then for me, the final book that I read this week was The Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, issue number 4. It's
I'm
based
curious
off
about
the
this.
90s cartoon. The 90s cartoon. This is by Oni Press. It's part of their Nacelverse, which includes Biker Mice from Mars, and a couple other properties that they got the license for. This is all IP stuff, right? And so it's cool to see these indie comic companies like get IP they can create new content for. So Mad Cave Studios has Speed Racer and they have like 3 different Speed Racer comics that they're doing, and like Oni Press has this and many others. Dynamite has the Disney comics that Marvel is not utilizing. So they have like Gargoyles, Lion King, Stitch, Disney villains, Maleficent, that sort of thing. So all these different companies have different IP. Anyway, so the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, it's just 4 issues. It's a mini series. I remember the cartoon from when I was a kid, so I wanted to pick this up, and it's cute. Like it's not modernized in a weird way. It does just seem like a modern version of the story, like if they made the cartoon now, but not if they like hipped it up, you know? They didn't like over sexualize things or like make it like hip and dark and edgy, you know? It's not like
Yeah.
ultimate Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. It's not like that, you know? Instead, it just seems like a modern take on the cartoon. And it was pretty good. There's a lot of puns, and I don't remember if they had a lot of puns in the cartoon, but they have a lot of horse, cowboy, ranch related puns in this. There's also like a character named Mary, and she's a mare, Mare. So they spell her name as Marey, Mary. Like it's like punny jokes like that. Some characters are cows, some characters are horses, some characters are bulls. Like
I don't think I ever watched this cartoon before.
yeah, it's literally anthropomorphic animals in a Wild West town. But the backstory of it, and I didn't know this for the cartoon when I was a kid watching it, the story of Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa is that there is a comet that lands on Moo Mesa and it makes all the animals mutate into like people and have hands and stuff. At the same time, it's in the future, but it's the Wild West. So there's no humans there. But like they have a Wild West town. Kind of like Ninja Turtles in a way, right? Like they're mutated animals living in that town. And so the bad guy essentially is like I won't spoil it, but the bad guy is like, this is unnatural. We should just be horses. We need to reverse the comet and turn us back into animals. And they're like, no, you can't do that. And so there's that whole thing. It's 4 issues. It's fun. It's not going to change your life, but like, it is what it is. I don't know.
So
It's
was this the
cute.
finale? Was this the ending of it?
Yeah. Four out of four. Fourth issue out of 4 issue miniseries.
Did you like how it ended?
Yeah, yeah. I think also it ends with a setup for another miniseries. So
Okay.
you know, so what they decide to do, I don't know. Um, there's also a character called Dark Horse, and it's a horse in like a suit of armor, and I think it's like steam powered, sort of like steel armor, I guess. Anyway,
Eh.
you could see it on the cover, like one of the variant covers um, of it. So if you're watching us live on youtube.com/the Keeg Show, you can see our little slideshow of the covers. But that is Dark Horse right there. Anyway, that's all the comics I read.
Beautiful, same.
Yeah.
Do you have any before we end, do you have any goals, that you would like to end or, like, things that you for comic book wise? I don't know. One of my goals for this year was to read more DC,
Yeah.
and to read, anything yeah, read more than what I typically have been.
I don't know, because I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, you know?
No, absolutely.
But at the same time, like, I don't think I can read more. But I am going to try to, like, I'm always trying to evolve this show to, like, do new things and whatnot. So, like, we've been doing a lot of clips. Shout out to Deanna, who's been editing a lot of our clips for this show. It's really helping us a lot, especially on social media, and gives us more content to put out there. But I think that, like, yeah, some people are just not going to tune into this show, and that's okay. But some people might just live for the clips, right?
No, 100%.
Maybe that's just what they just want, those little clips.
Or maybe the clips are what's gonna drive them to the show.
Yeah, and people realizing that, like, yeah, you can watch this episode live, you could watch this episode after the fact, or you could listen to the episode via podcast after the fact, right? And so if you're here live, you can jump in the chat like Curly Insane Guy did, or Brian89 did, you know. But for the most part, like, you don't have to be a part of that. You can just listen to this afterwards, and either way, you're appreciated. Um, there's a lot of other cool stuff that we're going to be prepping for this, but I'm just happy to be here with you, Ambrosia, to have this show still going on after almost 5 years.
Wild.
Talking about the things we love, you know?
No, absolutely, and I'm grateful that you have this place because again, it has created such a beautiful community of comic book nerds for us to come and chit chat together because that's an entire element that I never had before, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And
Did you?
also talking about, like, other females who read comic books, like, we had, Deanna,
Mhm.
um, and then, vegan oh my
Vegan
gosh,
Super Kick?
yes,
Yeah. Maggie.
um,
Yeah.
Maggie, and so also just, creating a safe environment for minorities in
Yeah.
the comic book world.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Um, I think first step for people, find a comic shop near you, one that you could go to that doesn't gatekeep, that is supportive, gives recommendations, doesn't treat you weirdly. If you're a girl and they ogle you as you walk in, sure, that's one thing that's bad. There's also the flip side, which is being dismissive. Some people do both, ogle you and be dismissive for being a girl. That's not good. But finding a comic shop that doesn't ogle you, that isn't dismissive of you, that helps support your thing, your love of comics, great. Don't let any bad experiences dissuade you as a whole. There are other comic shops that are good, but at the very least, like, tune in here and ask us in the chat, like, if you need any recommendations, both of comic shops or comics read and whatnot. So um, that's the whole goal with all this, right? Is to, like, just let's get more people reading comics.
100%.
You know. Before we get going, Ambrosia, thank you so much as always. Where can people find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Okay, I say this all the time, but because we are like right at the new year, we're gonna hit hard. My goal is just to get back into the realm of being on social media more, and talking about comics, specifically on TikTok. Um, and so you can find me at TikTok at comics and cupcakes. And then Instagram at Ambrosia underscore Linda. Um, and like I said, one of my goals is just to or what I have coming up is just to read more comics and to get back into the swing of things and to bake more cupcakes.
That's good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Dimitri?
Where can people find me?
Absolutely, all the things. Give us
Instagram
your
at
plugs.
this is Dimitri. Stay tuned. That's me personally, but if you're trying to find the Keeg and Comic Talk and all the different shows that we do, you can follow us at the Keeg Show on social media, at the Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest social media platforms. But we're also on like Blue Sky and Threads and Facebook and all that. So at the Keeg Show / the Keeg Show, wherever you can find the Keeg, including patreon.com / the Keeg Show. We are going to be doing some new content there, that's going to be fun. That's going to be Patreon exclusive, such as some drunk hangouts, some drunk talks, some cool new games to just kind of play. So that's going to be all Patreon exclusive stuff. So, follow us on Patreon, patreon.com / the Keeg Show. Help us out. Give us an advertising budget because that's also hurting. Not have enough money to advertise this show, and you could also if you help us there, you get to say that you were on the ground floor as this show becomes more popular, that you were here from the beginning, so if anyone's out there, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, let us know you're out there, whether you're watching us on youtube.com / the Keeg Show or listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. We're on all of those. So wherever you're listening to us, wherever you're watching us, thank you so much for that. That is pretty much it. Support your local comic shops. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, and also support your local public libraries. They're bound to have comics there as well, but even if they didn't, they still need your support. So either way, support them, support local comic shops, support each other. It's a whole new year, support each other, talk about the things that you love, share the things that you love, join communities revolving around the things that you love. And I think like life is just going to be that much better if you focus on the things that you like. I think that it's way more important than the things that you hate. Stay away from
Oh,
the things you hate. Sure.
and focusing on things that you do have control over.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes, but it's January 1st, 2026. So let's start it up this year. Let's be positive and constructive, not just positive, but constructive too. That's pretty much it. Shout out to Curly Insane Guys. Shout out to Brian89. Shout out to anyone who tuned in for our Best Comics of 2025 episode. You can find that on YouTube if you want to look back and see and watch that episode, listen to that episode. Feel free. A lot of cool stuff on that episode. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Thank you to Ambrosia for being on this. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of Comic Talk for the week of January 1st, 2026. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Super fast, gotta beat the boss and get the loot, 'cause it's the king.